Named for the legendary coach and co-founder of the Bengals, here's a good look at Paul Brown Stadium on the riverfront in Cincinnati. The enthusiasm of this Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd. And they're all set as they'll match up with the Los Angeles Chargers. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. They go play action with Burrow. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
From the 39, Burrow. Open man is Chase, complete.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
On 1st down, right. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Switch. 11.
The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
Burrow on play action. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Second and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. A throw over the middle, taken in. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 14.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. Open man is Higgins, and he's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. T. Higgins, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals take it right down and score on the opening drive. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
On 1st down, they look downfield, and it's complete. Touchdown, Chargers! Austin Eckler, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Chargers are an extra point away from moving out in front. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And they take the lead here at 7-6. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
Working with a 2nd and 3.
11 MT, Kate. 11 MT, Kate. Watch the
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat?
Now Burrow loses the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. One, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But two, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position. From the gun, they'll try to run it. shedding the tackle. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
Well, this defense for the Bengals, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
After one, a 1-point game, 7-6.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another 1st down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Now a toss, running left, Eckler. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown.
Austin Eckler
with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead is up to 8. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away.
Taking it about the 1. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
2nd and 4. Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now a give, right side, right. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Open man, it's complete to Higgins.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
2nd and 9.
Here we go. Hey, can.
Now they go play action now. Burrow. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Burrow looking to pass. They'll set up the screen here to mix it. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40.
I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield, and he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Out of his hands quickly to Higgins. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And Burrow going to throw again. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
After the turnover, here's Herbert. Flushed out right. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy. Well, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Now a throw here to his running back. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run.
That turns into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right, and after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. Now they go screen. It's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Not much there, only a yard.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them.
And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Jalen Guyton, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers are going to add on to their lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead is up to 15 now. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time, separation. That's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
11, 11, 11, 11.
Off the play fake, here's Burrow. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Now it's Herbert. He's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. Austin Hooper. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And we'll see how they want to play this. Just a little over 20 seconds to go. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And an anxious moment or 2 there, but they do get him down. 47 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
They'll try the air now with Herbert. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business.
And he's in for a Charger touchdown. A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season.
And the Chargers take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Oh, how about this? No good. Just his second miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
61 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
11 MT.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Play action. It's Burrow. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
Well, when you got a guy who's a dual threat out of the backfield, go ahead and use him. And that's exactly what they've done on back-to-back plays here. Picked up big chunks of yardage, once in the air and once on the ground.
Can. Stop.
He's coming. Double up. He's
11 MT. Tight. Stop.
And now they will throw it with Burrow. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Here we go. 180.
Don't get nervous. Mike 5.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Uchenna Nwosu in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. And this is going to be no good. He misses it off to the left,
It's been a nightmare season. You're well under 500. Your defense hasn't really kept you in a lot of games, and now it's spilling over to the kicking game. That's 3 points you've got to be able to bank on.
The Charger drive about to get going. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The roads will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. It's a big play, yet amazingly, because of how far they had to go, they're still looking at a second down here.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory.
47 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Herbert's throw into the hands of Hooper.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch 10. Watch 10.
Herbert will give this one to Eckler.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. A good run, 8 yards there, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead, 1st down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles.
Gabe Neighbors,
his 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Chargers look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more.
Michael Badgley to kick off for the Chargers.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Now, they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, You know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Shift. Slam, slam, slam. Check the backer, check the backer.
They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Third down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down.
The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Returnable here from the 38. It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return, and it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
18 Cardinal.
Herbert setting up to throw on 1st down. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Herbert operating from the red zone. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
You have fun with this one, partner.
And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs, and I think they're going to at least take a look at this.
Michael Badgley lining up for the extra point.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They'll run on 1st down. Mixon, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score.
And our ball going to be intercepted yet again. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And the Chargers will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go.
Second down and 7.
I got you, boy. I got you, boy. Check. Crunch. Crunch. Crunch.
Once more, here's Eckler. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
132 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run. 57. Mike.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Chargers,
They moved to 7-9 on the year with the win.
so for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.